Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with women's basketball captain Katie Wilds and women's swimming captain Emma Swabb. But first, I'm joined now by men's basketball coach Adam Hutchinson. Adam, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Jeremy.
The Generals' last game before Thanksgiving was a 74-72 win over 6th-ranked Catholic. Got a couple of clutch shots late from Andy Kleinline. What can a victory like that do for the team early in the season?
It can give our guys confidence that they can play and succeed at a very high level. You know, Catholic was ranked, I believe, number 6 in the country. They were an NCAA team last year, you know, preseason All-America on their roster, all of that stuff. So it's good for the guys to know that they can play with and beat a team of that caliber.
Some of your best teams at WNL have had a go-to player in the post. Names like Greg Benjamin and Ben Getch come to mind. Does this year's team have that kind of makeup when Clayton Murtha's in there in the post?
I actually think that our best teams had balance. So when we had Benjamin in the post, we had McHugh and Isaiah and Zach on the outside. When we had Getch, you know, we had Zach and Semino on the outside. And so we have Clayton inside, but now we have Andy on the outside. We have Nick George playing really well on the outside. You know, Roy and Devin coming off the bench. So you got to have balance, and I think we have that. You know, Clayton is the guy who I think creates opportunities for other people just with his presence. Other teams have to react to him, otherwise, you know, he kind of goes bananas. But when they react to him, pack the paint or what have you, you have to be able to capitalize on that as well, and that's been the next stage in our development.
WNL has tough ODAC games against Hampton, Sydney, and Virginia Wesleyan this week, and then you won't face another conference opponent until the new year. How important is it to get off to a good start in ODAC play?
Every ODAC game is critical. You know, I was telling the team in general, but specifically I was speaking to the freshmen, that ODAC games don't feel like other games when you're in them. They're tightly contested. They're emotional games. I don't expect the next 2 games to be any different than that. You know, it'd be wonderful to get off to a good start. I like the fact that we're playing 2 of the tougher teams in the conference to begin. You know, give us a chance to figure out what we're made of.
What are your expectations for the Generals this season?
Just continue to compete, continue to improve on a daily basis. There's a lot of leadership, a lot of team building that's kind of going on before the lights go on. You know, guys getting together and working out, shooting free throws, supporting each other, things like that. Continuing to do that and grow. I think that that's been the key to our success, and I think if we continue to do that and build on it, sky's the limit.
Adam, thanks for joining us. Best of luck throughout the year.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Here with me in the studio is Katie Wilds, senior basketball captain from Massapequa Park, New York. Katie, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
WNL put together a record-setting performance on Monday with a 101-70 win over Southern Virginia. How can the Generals build off of that game?
You know, I think that game was really good for us. We needed confidence after coming off a tough loss of Randolph-Macon. It was coming right after break, so it was good in the sense everyone got to play. Everyone really had a team mentality. So we're trying to build off of that. We kind of learned that maybe our defense, we really need to improve on that in order to get some more wins in the future. So it was a good learning experience, but also a good test of our confidence, test of our skills coming after a break.
You're the host of Katie's Corner on GeneralSports.com. Mm-hmm. You're also the sports director at WLUR. Tell us about your experiences doing interviews and feature pieces about your fellow student athletes.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Usually I'm the one asking the questions. So they've been great opportunities from both sports information. Everyone at Washington and Lee has really helped me try to, you know, be prepared for a career that I want to go into. But it's great to get to know student athletes in a different sense. You know, with Katie's Corner, I get to know something from their personal life and extracurricular that they're involved in. With the radio and the interviews, I get to ask athletes why they're still playing the sport they're playing, why they got involved. And as an athlete myself, I just like finding out those things about them. And I think other people do too. Superstitions, I have a couple myself, so I always like to ask what are their superstitions or what kind of music they're listening to on the way to games. So it's a good insight into the personality of the athlete in general, why they keep doing what they're doing. And again, with commentating games, it's been a great experience overall.
Getting back to basketball, WNL is competing in 3 different in-season tournaments. You went to Franklin and Marshall. You've got Daytona Beach and Roanoke coming up. Can that benefit the Generals as you look ahead to the ODAC tournament when you would have to win games on back-to-back days?
Yeah, absolutely. Coming towards January, the season really picks up. We have 2 or 3 games a week, so we don't get to rest our legs every day or rest them as often as we'd like to. But those kinds of games really do prepare us, and we're playing some really good competition. So it's that consistency that we're trying to build. We're trying to, get our legs as strong as possible, really push through those times where maybe we're feeling a little bit weaker. So these tournaments are great challenges and opportunities to work on our offenses, work on our defenses, and really ultimately prepare for that tournament.
What are the team's goals for 2015-16?
As a huge goal, it's of course ODAC championship. It's my senior year. It's 4 of us on the team senior year: Alina Hamrick, Shelby, Paige. So that's something that we've been gunning for the past 4 years, and we've been building our program for. But on a daily basis, we really walk into the gym. Coach Clancy and Pam really encourage us just to walk out of the gym better than you did the day before. And right now, I think defense has been our struggle. That is our goal to get better on, because ultimately we have an offense that runs off our defense. So once we start getting stops, we really stop their penetration, we pick it up on the zone. I think it's going to have an all-around positive effect for our team.
Katie, thanks for joining us. Best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Joining me now in the studio is Emma Swabb, senior swimming captain from Erie, Pennsylvania. Emma, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
WNL won the ODAC relays back in October. Just before Thanksgiving, you came in second at Franklin and Marshall, behind only a Division I Delaware team. How pleased have you been with the first month and a half of the regular season?
We have been very happy with the start of our season. It's been a really fast year so far. We've seen pool records fall, we've seen team records fall already by mid-season. So we're pretty excited about the prospect of February, even though we're focusing on the moment, but we're very proud of our wins, both at ODAC relays. Our performance at Franklin Marshall has always been pretty fast, but this year is pretty outstanding with what we were able to accomplish.
You've completed a pair of summer internships with the Shepherd program. How did your time in Georgia and DC, the experience you had there, impact your overall career at WNL?
My summer internships, both of which were very unique, but equally as educational and informative about my career choices and my classes that I take at WNL, have really seamlessly integrated my interests in psychology, in poverty studies, and in the criminal justice system. So each one kind of taught me a different lesson about where I see myself in the future, and also kind of gave me a lot of perspective about why I'm grateful to go to WNL and why I'm so lucky to have the opportunities afforded to me by the school, and specifically the Shepherd program, which is really great at their interdisciplinary work with combining interests and helping people pursue careers in those interests.
You've also had an outstanding career in the pool, going way back to your freshman season when you were the ODAC Rookie of the Year. What are your expectations for your senior season?
Well, I am pretty excited to say that I'm working harder in the weight room than I ever have, and I've been allowing myself to get more sleep than in years past. So I think I'm preparing myself better than ever for a good championship meet. My goals are some best times as usual, but I'm excited to think that I'm on the path towards those. I'm hoping to get some personal bests in the 200 and 400 IM. I haven't seen those times fall in a little while, but I think I'm on a pretty good path towards making that happen this year to finish out my senior season.
The Randolph-Macon Invitational will be your last meet until early January. What is the team looking to accomplish this weekend?
The Randolph-Macon Invitational is kind of our second mid-season meet, which we tried this for the first time last year, and everybody on the team was kind of concerned about, will we go as fast as we did at Franklin and Marshall when we're suited up, and we don't really rest for this meet, whereas for Franklin and Marshall we took a day of no lifting, and so it was a slight rest. But for this meet, everybody was nervous last year, and we swam amazing. We swam just as fast as we did at Franklin and Marshall. So everybody was pretty happily surprised. So I think we're looking to continue that kind of consistency from Franklin and Marshall carried over to Richmond. We're excited for this meet. A lot of teams will be rested and shaved and suited up, and we'll be there just ready to swim fast.
Emma, thanks for joining us here. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you so much.
It's time now for a look at the upcoming weekend. The men's and women's track and field teams open up the indoor season in Lynchburg at the Liberty Kickoff. Men's and women's swimming return to Ashland for the Randolph-Macon Invitational, while wrestling competes at Ohio Northern. And there's a basketball doubleheader at the Water Center on Saturday afternoon. The women take on Sewanee, followed by a men's hoops matchup against 15th-ranked Virginia Wesleyan. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.